Welcome to Draw One Last Breath Horror Podcast. My name's Matt.
I'm Butch.
I'm Jodie Paul.
Welcome to episode 181. On this episode, we have been to the cinema to watch Final Destination Bloodlines and our movie from the vault that Butch picked. Last episode was Zombie Flesh Eaters. Mr. Geordie Paul has returned.
Hurrah!
The Walking Dead has returned.
That's it, yeah. I was away at film school studying my arty.
Drinking red wine whilst watching
Someone's got to
I spot
raise the subject matter out of the gutter that you used to spout. So yeah, thought I'd come
well,
back.
I spotted the bottle of JB, so Colin would be happy.
Yeah,
Okay.
brilliant. So, what you guys been up to? What you been watching?
Well, first things first, worth what talking about is anyone else watched Love, Death and Robots, the latest season?
Yes.
I haven't watched it all. I've watched first 5 episodes, I think. The last one I watched was the one with the aliens and the priest.
Okay, yeah, that was good. That was good fun. But yeah, the little mini. Have you watched the little mini one?
I have. I would like someone to make a whole TV show around that place.
It's so
Sounds-
much fun.
It's very
What?
depraved, though. Very
Yeah,
depraved. Like the guy goes to fuck the cow.
yeah,
Oh man,
it's great.
that was gross. Yeah, so that's season 4 now. Just dropped, hasn't it?
It's really good, this one. Spider Rose was particularly good, I thought. Um,
Yeah.
really good, some really good horror bits in this one.
Even the Red
Why
Hot
don't we
Chili
get
Peppers
more
video was good.
films made in that CG style?
Yeah.
There was like Final Fantasy and stuff like that, but I've always thought that it always looks really like like video game cutscene style. And I was thinking, why don't more films get made like that?
Probably because it takes like 20 million years.
Uh,
Just to do a 20-minute one.
Yeah.
Good point.
But yes, I very much enjoyed Love, Death and Robots. Um, but that's probably it in terms of my extracurricular activities. However, you did let us in on a little secret, didn't you, Matt? So what was it that you
Yeah.
wanted us to watch?
So I was surfing for something to watch on Amazon Prime, just like, Saturday night on my own, so I thought I'll watch something. And I saw this poster for like a film called Explorer from Another World. And it really caught my eye because the poster was like real eye-catching, and I was just like, that looks interesting. And then I looked at it and clicked into it, and it was only like what 45 minutes long. And I thought, well, I'll take a punt. It's only very short, so I thought I'd give it a go. And Jesus Christ, I mean, this is from a first-time writer director. I think, well, first film at least, for a guy called Woody Edwards. He's a writer and a director. It's super low budget, but what he's used in this is just fantastic. I mean, he's drafted in what looks like half his family to shoot the thing, but the gore in this was fucking brilliant. What
Oh
did
yeah,
you guys get to what? Did you watch it?
you didn't catch
Oh,
it.
I didn't get around to it, mate, but it's on my list.
Yeah,
Ah,
I thought it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, you know that little French number, but with just like a little like Le Visiteur. This was just raw B movie goodness. It was beautiful, beautiful to watch. Absolutely loved it. Recommend it. It's 49 minutes of someone's life. Go and check
yeah,
this one
but
out.
the poster is so B movie in it. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
like looks cool. It's kind of like I don't know. Just obviously it reminded me of Mars Attacks because it's the same era, but just that's what drew me in was the poster. And when it started, I was just thinking, this is crazy. And then when the gore kicks in, like the special effects, I was like, this is punk rock. This is fucking
yeah,
awesome, awesome stuff. So yeah, hopefully, you never know, we might be able to chat to the writer director soon. Hold this space.
lovely job. Right, Jodie Paul, you been watching much?
I haven't watched a lot. I did watch a couple. So I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's a science fiction horror film that's on Amazon Prime called Ash.
Matt has.
Yes.
I haven't.
Oh, okay. I think you should get yourself to watch that, mate, because it's a tidy little number. Um, it's not amazing, but I did enjoy it. And I don't really want to give too much away because it's probably best if you go in cold. But stars Aaron Paul and Isaac Gonzalez.
Event Horizon sort of thing.
Yeah, you can't. It's got vibes of it, mate. Definitely vibes of it. But
It's a
like I
slow
said, I don't
burn,
really.
isn't it?
It's a very, very slow burn. So do stick with it because, like I said, I think that's probably why it's not amazing because it's very slow burn. There's quite a nice little payoff to the end, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
with a couple of twists and stuff, and it goes batshit quite quickly. But don't want to say anything more because I think you just need to watch it, Mick. But I think you'll dig it, Paul. Really do. So,
That's exactly what I told him last time, but he didn't watch it.
and then I watched on Shudder The Ugly Stepsister.
Right, I want to watch this, so let's hear it.
It's fucking bonkers in a good way. I kind of didn't know when I started watching. It's like a reimagining of Cinderella, right? I'm not going to go into it, mate, but it's a reimagining of Cinderella from like the stepsister's point of view. But it's depraved and it's mucky and it's horrible and there's gore and there's really intense horribleness to it, which you'll
Really?
love. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. Yeah, it's horrible. It's a horrible little film. But I've never seen Cinderella at all like that. I don't think I'll ever watch Cinderella the same way again.
Nice. All right, mate. I'm all over that. As soon as I
But
find
yeah, and that was it. That was it.
quality stuff. Matt, you got anything else?
I didn't really watch much else horror, I'm afraid, but I did watch the Robbie Williams film Better Man, which was quite crazy in places, but I'm going to do a butch there. But it's very good. You should go and watch it.
Okay.
Oh, well, if we're doing that, I did watch the Bob Dylan film.
Oh, nice. All right, moving
God,
on.
it gets worse.
At least when I watched Bob Dylan movie, it tied in with the movie because there's a little bit in Torso. There's like a whole weird kind of Bob Dylan hippie thing going on.
Isn't there someone in Zombie Flesh Eaters called Bob?
Sure.
Probably.
All right. All right, let's get on to some news. Anyone got any news?
Yeah, I've got a couple of bits. Sorry, Osgood Perkins rumored to be interested in making a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Really? I haven't seen anything on that.
Yeah, so he signed a picture deal with Neon, the film studio, and he's got something coming out, I think soon, supernaturally, I think. But yeah, he's expressed interest. He's trying to get Neon to acquire the rights for Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Interesting.
I mean, I all I've been seeing is some new trailers. So when I watched the Together trailer, Alison Brie and James Franco, then I watched another trailer for that. Looks very, very interesting.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
You see the Welcome to Derry trailer?
No, not yet. I will watch that.
It's good. It's good. It doesn't give too much away, but it proper sets it up. So
Okay.
yeah. I mean, the cynic would say it just looks like it,
In a different era.
but is that a bad thing? I suppose.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, just one little bit. Thought we'd better put a nod in there to bit of a sad bit of news. But George Wendt died, unfortunately. Obviously, we know him from such horror films as House, VFW, and obviously he was a little part in Bliss, which was one of our favorite films. So yeah, R.I.P.
I have another bit of a sad. It's not as sad as that, but it is quite sad that Morris, the alligator who starred in 1980's Alligator, and he was also in Happy Gilmore, sadly died as well.
Shut up! I didn't know they lived that long.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ. One-eyed
Wow,
alligator.
yeah, died a couple of days ago. So yeah,
pour one
good
out.
on you, Morris. He was great in Alligator.
I'm happy Gilmore. Yeah, he was probably one of the best in that. Anyway, okay, if that's all the news, should we move on to our main review?
Something's got a hold on me. I must be the
Drinks all around.
say it, oh, 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 oh. Something's got a hold on me.
1, get to pick the one you get. Just gotta love the one you got.
I always knew this day would come.
I got it.
I don't think you got it.
I held him off for years.
Charlie, get up here.
He's a relentless son of a bitch. Won't stop till he finishes the job. Death is coming for our family.
I said, oh, 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 oh,
Grandma, what's happening to us?
Years ago, I had a premonition that started it all. I saw what death was about to do. I saved a lot of lives that night.
Everyone needs to get off the dance floor!
Lives that were never meant to be saved. But death doesn't like it when you mess with his plans. This book, it will show you everything you need to know to keep our family safe.
It all started with Grandma. Death is coming for us because we were never supposed to exist. Watch out!
Only by embracing death will it pass you by.
Maybe Death's not actually coming for our family. Because that would be crazy.
Good luck.
Okay, so this week's main review, we've all been to the cinema to watch the 7th film in this franchise that won't die, funnily enough. It's the premise of it, but it is Final Destination Bloodlines. So a quick synopsis: plagued by a recurring violent nightmare, a college student returns home to find the one person who can break the cycle and save her family from the horrific fate that inevitably awaits them. So we did obviously Final Destination not so long ago, and generally got positive reviews. What did you think of this one, gents?
I gotta be honest, mate. I freaking loved this. I thought it was brilliant. I literally think it's brought it back from the depths, and it entertained me so much. And I thought the kills were fantastic, and it kept me entertained the whole way through. And it was funny, it was well written, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Wow. Okay. I mean, yeah, I feel exactly the same. It was humorous. The special effects I thought were fantastic. I thought it brought it back to that sort of real feel. They were real practical effects. The sort of
Gory as well.
yeah, the CGI was like minimal. I think there was like real depth of storytelling, and like I said, it's like I just think that it was like watching the first one again. Maybe the premonition scene, was a bit. It's been overplayed and stuff like that. I get it, but like you said, the setup and of the deaths and the result of how they sort of got rid of them this time around, I think really worked. It was almost like a little bit it's almost like less is more with this, even though there's some of them were fucking crazy. I felt like it just really worked for me. Yeah, I was laughing my head off at some of them. I thought it was fucking.
I mean, I was the only one that was laughing in there, and I felt bad, but glad to hear that you were laughing as well.
Lots of blood, lots of gore, and lots of kills. So, Mr. Stevens, your look on your face suggests something different. So let's hear what you got to say. So, did you go into the cinema grumpy?
I came out of the cinema grumpy.
Were you tired?
I was very tired. And I'm going to agree with you, lads. I really enjoyed it.
You turncoat.
Look, it's utter nonsense.
Yeah.
But I thought, I kind of agree with you. It was entertaining. I thought they did a really good job of bringing humour into it without it being slapstick. And I don't think the first one was funny at all. They played it right down the middle, didn't they? It was very serious, very kind of dark. And this one was very popcorn film. And I just thought it was done really, really well. I loved all the deaths. I thought they were very inventive, ingenious. I thought it pulled the rope a dope a couple of times on you, and you were like, "Oh, you bastards!" Obviously, we'll get on a couple of bits later, but yeah, I just had fun, guys. I really did, and I went in with the lowest of expectations, and I actually, yeah, I came out going, "Do you know what? It's probably my favorite one. I probably like it more than the first one." So, and I got a feeling that this is the type of film. Obviously, when was the first one out? 2000,
99,
2000?
99, I think.
99. So I kind of think this is the film that they kind of wanted to make, but were probably hampered by budgets, technology. Do you know what I mean?
I
And I
thought about
think,
2000 was the first one.
Yeah, I thought about this. It's like, and I was thinking, oh, there's so many practical effects in this one, a lot. And I was like, did the first one go down that route? I suppose was some aged CGI, but like if you think about with the teacher in the way she sort of all those knives and all that sort of stuff, that was kind of practical. Even the guy, in the bathroom, it was kind of sadistic. There were a
I just
mixture.
from the spectacle of it all, Paul. I mean,
Mm,
like the first, I was kind of like the start of the premonition scene. It kind of went on quite a while, and I was a bit
mm.
like, "Geez, you're gonna get on with this," because you kind of know what's about to happen. But I just thought the way it happened, and it did fit into the story,
Yeah,
in the length of it. They dwelled on it because you kind of had to set that kind of thing up. The detail of a dream, a recurrent dream, it's you kind of in her head. But yeah, no, I did. I thought it was really surprisingly really good.
I
yeah.
thought the premonition scene was fantastic. I thought it was one of the best openers. I mean, I don't know whether that's because I'm scared of heights and stuff, but it was pretty crazy.
It
And I
still
think they
doesn't.
had to make it big.
It still doesn't hang a card for me on the second one with the fucking the logs. I mean, that for me is still the MVP. But like, yeah, you're right. There was some like real moments in it, and like I love the way it sort of this action is this consequences, and the penny sort of acts as the catalyst and all this sort, and it's almost like death is sort of finding a way through that. That was really sort of interesting. And again, like the with Iris and the way it all tied together in the law, but in not in your face way. Um, I thought it was really clever. And I really didn't think like the Howard's death which we've seen on the trailer, if that was going to work with seeing it already, I suppose pretty much, but it still kind of did, and it still felt as if it wasn't supposed to happen. Like it still felt like it was in someone's head, and it was like, oh shit, no, there's another funeral. So yeah, it was kind of really, really kind of interesting to see all that. Um,
Well, I thought it was quite clever that they kind of kept like showing you kind of the elements of it, but you thought the elements were going to happen in a certain order, but then
mm.
they didn't, and you were kind of just like waiting for it to kick off, and again, it strung it out a bit.
The rug pull with the 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 obviously the tattoo guy with all the
Tattoo
piercings.
parlor, Eric. Or
Eric, yeah. Eric
He played
was
a great part, by the way.
he was fucking fantastic. It was funny, it's quirky, and enough humor to really make it work. And the even with him and his brother Body had a good little work off each other. But yeah, I love that the fact that sort of real reveal, and he was the cocky one. He was the Kerr Smith of it all, I suppose. I don't know, the non-believer, really. And yeah, and then obviously walking along, oh, maybe this and this could happen, and it ends up happening to the other sister, and that was a fantastic moment, I thought, with the garbage truck. But yeah, go on. Yeah, okay, okay. And even like the whole hospital thing, obviously MVP for me in the whole movie is the sort of backwards folding bit with the machine. I think that had the right level of humor, um, as well as looking hideous, absolutely hideous. Like that, it reminded me of like the scene in it. It's gonna.
Yeah, it was. No, look, I really did like that because again, it set you up for you knew something was going to happen with the vending machine. It did a couple of like, oh, your brain kind of just instantly went in the vending machine's going to fall on his head or something, and it didn't really. And then obviously you go in and there's power in that machine up, and you're like, oh shit, 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 shit. But yeah, the way it happened because you were like, well, he can't die. I thought it was going to shoot the prong out through the door and hit him in the head. Um, but yeah, the nurse coming in, it was just brilliant. It was just really, really clever. Um, what do we think about her Nana though?
Batty Nana, like the Nana. I didn't. Matt, what do you think?
What, the lady that was in the crazy lady in the cabin?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Iris.
Um, I mean, they obviously needed something to carry the storyline along. I mean, it was a bit weird, but the fact that she made this book that basically told her what to watch out for and what to look out for. And it's a bit of a far stretch. It's like, well, you could
that
basically
kind of
get
nod to
killed
the
by
first
anything.
one, though, Matt, because on the opening credits, someone's writing in a book.
Oh, I don't. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna have to.
What do you think it may have been passed along?
Essentially, yeah,
Maybe, yeah.
because that's in the opening credits of Fantastic Nation, isn't it? Someone's writing a book about like near deaths and all that before it
Mm,
starts. So I
possibly.
think that's kind of a nod. But I just thought for someone who is trying not to die, right? She goes and visits the set of fucking 28 years later with all the
Yeah, I know.
kids. Right?
I was
I,
thinking that
I'm not
most
going to die,
dangerous
but I
place
live
in the
around.
world.
Yeah, I have the spikiest garden in the world, full of
Well,
everything that can kill me.
yeah. What the fuck? I did not understand that at all. It didn't make any logical sense. Obviously, she's not going outside, okay, but she's got to get, she's got to eat, presumably from somehow, and we're meant to believe she doesn't go outside, and yet there's all those everything that's dangerous and stuff like that. I don't know. That was a bit of a bit of a stretch for me. The look and feel of that sort of particular set. Yeah, that was a bit weird. But I really liked the Tony Todd and the sort of throwback to him being the little kid in Skyview. I thought that
That
was
that
really
was
good.
clever. That
Yeah,
was really
Yeah.
clever. And
yeah,
I think as well, with that's the kind of monologue he gave at the end, really, it actually made me feel a bit upset because knowing that he was dead,
yeah,
though when he was saying it, it's like this is fucking real. He's just
Yeah.
talking it's real. It's coming out of his voice. He looked really like, every minute of your life is really important and you live it to the max. And it's just like when he turned away and just walked off, I was like, fuck, is that it?
Yeah,
I
it
was
was the
like,
wink to it was like almost like a wink, wasn't it, to the screen?
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like, see you later, guys. Thanks for like all the memories type of thing. It was just, yeah, it was a very nice touch without
Mm.
being too sort of. I'm glad because I thought, oh, they're going to get him like central to the plot, and is he going to be running around with them and all that type of stuff? But they didn't kill him. I thought it was really classy of them.
I
But he
did,
just,
I did, I did guess that he was going to be the kid, kind of like before that. I was
yeah,
just like, it's definitely going to be him, definitely.
yeah.
But no, I thought that was a nice touch.
Really good musicality. Like yeah, death's good. It's just it was a really good popcorn movie. Really good
I think
popcorn horror.
some of the deaths were some of the best I think that they've done so far because they just, it must be really hard as well coming up with new inventive ways of killing people because they did it and there were some of them were shocking and it was just like fucking out and they were really gory, which I
Yeah,
was surprised at. I think
a
probably some of the goriest they've done,
lot of
with
blood.
jaws hanging off and things coming through faces and
Yeah,
smashed up body. Especially the dumpster bit was pretty fucking. I was like, oh my God,
squishy.
it was pretty graphic. Fishy face.
and the
Yeah,
little
squishy.
bastard child. I
Mm.
kind of, the bastard child that gets the piano on his head.
The
It
what,
was
sorry?
Oh, that's in the premonition scene.
the little
Oh
shit.
yeah,
But I kind of wanted it to revisit his death in later life. Because he
Yeah,
survives, doesn't he? I know they
yeah,
explain he was dead from it, but
yeah.
it would have been nice just to see how he went again. Because if he grew up to be a little shit in later
He was
life,
a yeah, he was a little arsehole. I love that. I just knew that was gonna happen. As soon as he ran outside, I was like, ha ha, and then he just got splattered on by the piano. It was brilliant.
yeah, I mean that piano bit was brilliant. It's just like the
Yeah,
coin falls down, just causes it to go doosh. Yeah, it's very good, very very good.
so all in all, it's a really, really good representation of the Final Destination, and I think that means that this franchise is safe and can move on and be interested to see what happens next. Because again, they've got quite a lot of stories to tell if they want, based on the fucking poster and all of that. If they wanted to explore it, they could go back and uh, look at all sorts, like you said, like the boy and all that sort of stuff. Be interested to see where they go with it.
I got an
But
idea for the next one.
go on.
Sperm donor.
Okay, that is fucking clever, actually.
He has to
Yeah,
track down all of his little tadpoles before they all die.
that is quite
Pretty good.
interesting. What would you rate this bad boy then?
I, do you know what, right? For pure entertainment value, I'm going to give it an 8.
Yeah, I would definitely give it an 8 because it says what it does what it says on the tin even, can't get my words out. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought the deaths were cool. It was just sit back, relax, and enjoy it for what it is. And it was funny as well. And I didn't expect that. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for me.
I know I wasn't expecting to sort of really come out and really sort of enjoy this movie and just be impressed with the amount of blood and the special effects. That was really, really, really good. The storyline worked for me. There's definitely like the comparisons and stuff, and there are some stale members of this franchise, and this is definitely not one of them. So yeah, it's an 8 out of 10 for me. Draw and last breath, 8 out of 10. Lovely job. Next episode 182, our main movie review. I think we have a really good option on Netflix. The new Fear Street Prom Queen, I think it's called, is out Friday the 24th. Probably worth a watch. Probably Friday the 23rd, I think it is. So yeah, I think that's when we will be going to Netflix possibly for our next movie.
Okay, so it's now time for our movie from the vault.
Okay, this episode's Move from the Vault I picked, and it is from 1979, Zombie Flesh Eaters. Strangers searching for a young woman's missing father arrive at a tropical island where a doctor desperately seeks the cause and cure of a recent epidemic of the undead. Bum 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 bum, bum. Lucy Fulci. It's a Fulci. So we know it's good. Also named Zombie 2. So there we go. Matt, can you remember the first time you watched this one?
Yes, I did. It was around my friend Stuart's house, and I was way too young to watch it. And it was on one of his um dirty little black cover Vipco with a gold writing. They were even better. They were good Vipco because it had no pictures of what was in it. So it was just like it was pot luck what you're gonna watch. But yeah,
Naughty.
it's a filthy little movie, this one.
Yeah, it's dirty. It is dirty. It feels dirty. What about you, Paul? Have you seen this before?
I've never seen this before, no.
Okay.
Ooh.
So what's your instant thoughts?
Um, if if the director made the conscious decision to pace the movie as if he were one of the zombies he has created, then it's a masterpiece. I just thought it was quite slow, guys, if I'm honest. That was my overriding thing. It took fucking ages to get on with it. And for a film that's called Zombie Flesh Eaters, I expected a bit more zombies.
Yeah, it's not
And
The Walking Dead, is it? All right. It's this is more of the voodoo curse that we sort of get. This is more Night of the Living Dead. It's sort of less equals more with this one, I think. Personally. That's why I do have a affinity for it because it is very minimal.
yeah, it's very raw. And like I said, the special effects in it are brilliant. They're really, really good. I just thought its pacing was it was just a bit slow for me. That's what I thought.
Matt, name another Fulci that we've seen. Have we seen another one?
Um, yes, we have. I'm
The,
sure we have.
the
Uh,
Beyond or
yeah,
something like that?
yeah, we've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, The Beyond. And that was a lot of eye work. He loves his eyes. And this has obviously got one of the most synonymous scenes of any eye work, if you like. I mean,
I mean, there's a couple that he's done that we haven't seen, that we might get onto one day,
mm,
which is The Cat in the Brain, which we haven't seen. City of the Living Dead, I've seen that, but
got
we haven't done it.
got a poster.
Yeah. Um, I thought, I remember watching this, like I have probably got a bit of a soft spot for it as well. I think you got to look at it for its time as well, because there wasn't, when this was put out, there wasn't a lot like this. And obviously we've been treated with zombie movies left, right, and center since like dawn of time now. So we've seen Walking Dead, we've seen 28 years late, sorry, 28 weeks later, and all those sort of things. So we've been treated to every single way zombie genre there is. But with this, it is like it was the kind of start of it. And this is classic zombies that are slow moving. And I mean, I really like this movie because it's very ominous. Is that a word? Ominous?
Yeah, ominous. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's kind of like the build up is, you're right, it is a slow burn. It is a slow to get to the point. And to be quite honest, there's not much massive big storyline to this film really. But yeah, the payoff in the last kind of like, I'd say like 35 minutes is very good. And like the effects are awesome. The music's pretty crazy. There is some music pieces in it that really annoyed me. I'll get onto that later. But yeah. I enjoyed this movie. I like it. I got a soft spot.
Yeah, the way it follows from New York, and you get that sort of really raw New York helicopter shot that you can see, you can hear the helicopter in the shot, and it's so purposeful in terms of following that boat. Um, and you get the New York skyline through the Hudson, and you get the cops, and you get it starts in New York and then moves to this island, where it's all sort of it's happening. It could easily be sort of like a tale from a Max Brooks book, in terms of a tale of where the zombie virus starts and stuff like that. From you
Kind of
literally,
reminded us of the end of Dr. Moreau.
yeah, definitely.
A little bit, yeah, yeah. I think as well with the boat at the start, because it's really eerie because there's no one on it. They find this derelict boat with no one on it, and then obviously these two cops go on it and get attacked by this big ass zombie. Um, which I think is really clever because they leave it hanging. This zombie gets like kind of jumps in the water kind of thing, and then you don't really see anything of it after that, and you kind of forget about that, and then it moves on to this woman that has a letter which was on the boat written to her from her father that says, um, that he's on an island and she's worried about him because she don't know where he is. So therefore, she goes to the island with a reporter, I believe it was. Yeah.
Handsy reporter, yeah.
Yeah, they're quickly getting on, don't fall in love, don't they?
Along with the obviously the holidaying couple as well. The old topless scuba diving.
Topless
Yeah, I think
everything. As soon as she hits the water, I ain't got a swimsuit. Fuck it.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think like it's 30 minutes in and we got breasts straight away, and I don't know why, but she needed to dive without anything on, apart from the
Um,
tiniest little white pants.
but this is the one of the most talked about scenes, not her scuba diving, but like the fact that there's this zombie underwater, and a shark, and the whole zombie versus shark. I mean, it's like got, it's that sci-fi movie vibe. Like it could anything could be taken. So zombie versus
It,
shark.
I mean,
I'm sorry,
shoot me down with this, right? But how the fuck did they do that scene? Because it looks pretty real.
it's a real shark.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a real shark. So ethically, it's probably not it's definitely a real shark. There's no way in hell they could have got the authenticity of that right.
No, no, but
So he's really wrestling it, and they might have like got one that was in captivity and kind of. I kind of felt a bit sorry for the shark.
I don't think they hurt it. I think it's effects, if I'm right, but it did look pretty real. And I mean
Whatever special effects, hats off to them because that looked real.
yeah. I mean I'm surely it's not a real shark getting killed. I don't know.
I wanted to talk about the other bit of nudity in this movie.
Of course you do.
Um, the naked shower scene, the total inappropriateness. Now, is my question to you both, is a naked shower scene synonymous in lots of horror movies? The only way that the directors back then could actually show vulnerability, because that's all they say. Is it simply a choice to see a pair of breasts for the director, or is it a choice of the fact that at that moment, they are completely vulnerable because it's just
Well,
blast them down into nothing?
it's definitely a choice, Paul, because Hitchcock didn't do it.
True, he doesn't show anything
It's definitely a
untoward.
choice. Look, of films of that time and of this nature had to have a bit of boob in it to get people bums on seats, didn't it?
Yeah,
That
true.
was as well as the gratuitous violence. If you were guaranteed a bit of breast, then you were watching it.
I was trying to put
And
an
I don't
art
need to
lens on.
convince you of that.
I know, but I was trying to put an art lens on my perviness. No.
I
Yeah,
think personally, I think it's a little of everything really. I think, yeah, it's down to kind of a bit of perviness from probably the old school directors, and having beautiful women in their films. I mean, everybody's got to be beautiful, and then obviously there is the point of having the beautiful side of it to appeal to people to go watch it. Because without being sexist, a lot of the people that watched it probably was male back then. Do you know what I mean? It was probably just the target audience was like, yeah, let's have the tick box thing. Yeah, it must have women naked tick, must have really good looking actresses tick. Do you know what I mean? It's just like,
Is
you
this
know,
a drive-through movie, do you think, or a hidden under the counter movie?
hidden under the counter for sure. Because
Sure.
it was bad.
Ah, okay.
Video nasty.
For the thing that happens next, which to be honest, when I watched it and rewatched it, I haven't watched this in a long time. The long tussle with this single zombie and the way it does pull her into the little bit of wood into the eye is terrifying. It's a really terrifying scene when you listen to her screams and the way she plays it. I think she plays it absolutely spot on. It's not corny. It's not over the top. I felt her terror. I thought it was really interesting actually. I haven't really felt that way for quite some time. So that was quite interesting. The way it emoted in me. What about you boys? How do you think about that scene?
I mean,
yeah,
I would have moved my face, but there you go.
yeah. Take it in the cheek.
Yeah, I think I would have rather had it any other way, but through the eye. Yeah, it's a crazy, crazy shot. I mean, it's a masterclass in kind of like special effects, isn't it? And the whole lead up to that, and it's just like the way it's like she ain't getting out of this. There's no way. And that zombie just breaks through that door and grabs her. That's it. It's game over.
Oh yeah, when you see her later, she's been torn to pieces. It's
Eaten
oof.
to pieces.
I mean, they kind of all deserve to die for just standing around watching these zombies because, like, the amount of time it takes them to stand up and turn around, you could have been like 600 meters away.
Are you talking about the Susan and when it rises and from the
I'm talking
dead?
about them all, everybody, literally. Yeah,
I mean, she's frozen in terror, obviously. That's
Well, obviously, mate, yeah,
that's-
yeah, 100%.
but there was there was all that. There's lots in this. You think about the scene it where it moves from New York, it moves into the island. We get a fight with a shark over a zombie, brilliant tick. We get the slow moving death tick. We get all these zombies tick, and we get a fucking Molotov cocktail fight right at the end. What's not more to love?
I mean, they had endless amounts of bottles. I mean, I think it was obviously because the doctor was an alcoholic, but
Well,
um, yeah, that was crazy. I mean, it's really well shot because obviously the pyrotechnics and stuff, like obviously the people were on fire and stuff, that was real. It was real actors and stuff, so it's cool. I mean, it did seem like they chucked a lot of those Molotov cocktails and it looked like the same scene just shot from a different angle, but you can't blame them. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, there is a different take in it, But I mean, it did piss me off. Is like obviously the rule is you shoot them in the head, they're dead, and they know this, but yet they still shoot them in the body.
That's if they hit them. This is the reporter. Oh my God, he
Yeah,
missed him from point blank range about 4 times.
but I can see that because he's a reporter. He's not probably used a gun ever in his life, so
Yeah.
I reckon he was just shit at shooting a gun. Where other matey boy, his mate with the long hair, he was pretty nifty with a shotgun, wasn't he? But yeah,
So the doctor lads. So I kind of had a trouble with that character, if I'm honest, because he kind of didn't really. He kind of set him up to be like an evil mad scientist who was doing this to them. And I thought like his little origin story with her dad. I thought all that was made up because obviously he changes kind of the story when he shoots him in the head. Because at the start he does it. He's like, no one can leave the island. But in the next bit is get everyone off the island. I was a bit like, oh, it's going to change. He's like filling them full of shit, but it kind of didn't. And then even the altercation with his wife before she gets eaten, it's like, I know what you're doing. I'm going to tell everybody and all this type of stuff. And I'm like, well, hang on. But he was actually a good guy in the end.
not
well, and
sure.
he didn't really give a shit about his wife being dead, did he?
Well, no, no,
I think
no,
he's
no.
just one of
But
those
then
people
you
that's
could say that about
interested.
Final Destination. They didn't really
Mm.
spend much time on grief.
Oh yeah. Hang on, wait there. Just knock, knock, knock. Hello, your fourth child is now dead. I'd love a cut scene of that. That poor woman, literally husband, then all her children. It's like, oh my God. Anyway, yeah.
What do you
But
think about this one being steeped in the sort of voodoo curse of it all? Because we do, I mean, I don't know if you've read Max Brooks' zombie books and stuff
yeah,
like
I've
that,
read
and you,
parts of it, yeah.
yeah, and all the sort of like history about where the zombie curse could start, and one of them is like this whole sort of voodoo aspect. We've done Return of the Living Dead where it's more chemical based. Night of the Living Dead is just because the fucking world's gone to shit or something. But it's really interesting. You don't really see this angle a lot, and I thought it's really cool to explore that sort of way.
It was different, but the one thing that really annoyed me was the drumming sounds of music. It just didn't stop, and it was just like it was the same over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It would have been cool to explore a little bit more on kind of who was doing it or where it came from a little bit, like a bit of a backstory to that. But obviously, we don't see that side of things. All we see is like, the professor, sorry, the doctor trying to, his obviously his problem, his thing is he can't understand it. He will not accept that it's voodoo. He wants to find a cure. He obviously is a doctor. So his whole thing is, I want to make it better. I need to find the cure and I need to know what it is because I'm not going to let it go until I have. And that is, he just wouldn't let up. And at the end of the day, all it probably was voodoo, stuff. So.
Okay. Have you got any Matt's facts? There should be a few on this one, right?
Just before you go, Matt, I'll
Okay.
tell you what I did really, really like. I really liked the end. I thought the end was really clever. Because like Butch said at the
Yeah,
start, you forget about New York.
that's it.
And then they're like, right, we're gonna go back and we've got to keep this guy who gets bit, we've got to keep him in there so we can prove. And then they turn the radio on and it's like it's been overrun and then that shot of the Brooklyn Bridge. I actually quite liked that bit. I
Yeah,
thought that was quite good.
clever because like you say, you forget about that zombie and you think, oh, they're going to get away, and it's absolutely preposterous when he goes, we've got to take him back because they'll never trust us because we have no evidence. And it's like, you fucking mental. And then yeah, the radio turns on and it's gone to shit anyway. So you're fucked. Yeah, Matt's facts. And yeah, I've got some for you. Here we go. So while shooting on location in New York City, Captain Haggerty, who plays the large, bold zombie who attacks the Harbour Patrol at the beginning of the film, walked into CBGB's, a tiny Bowery bar which was flourishing venue at the time, in full zombie makeup, complete with splattered fake blood and mud caked all over his face and body. Due to the outrageous punk styles in those days of the other bar patrons, he was barely noticed. Even the bartender never looked at him twice. Um, Despite being called Zombie 2, is the other name for it, the film is not a sequel to anything. When Dawn of the Dead 1978 was released under the title Zombie, with an I, in Italy, this film was retitled Zombie 2 to cash in on the success of the American film. This was done by the studio without director Lucio Fulci's permission or knowledge, and he often told fans this wasn't a sequel and that it's its own film. He was relieved to find out the film's actual title, Zombie, was kept in the American release. Scriptwriter Dardano Sacchietti chose to take his name off the credits due to his father's death during pre-production. As a result of his loss, he felt uncomfortable with it being connected with a movie about the dead returning to semblance of life and being destroyed. Um, this film was written before, obviously, Dawn of the Dead 1978, and it was released in Italy as an action/adventure thriller with no link to George A. Romero's films. The opening and closing scenes, which take place in New York, were added to the script later when the producers wanted to cash in on the success of Dawn. Uh, um, interest, Interestingly, Dawn actor David Merge, Flyboy, and Zombies Tisa Farrow Ann died a mere 10 days apart from one another in January 2024, which was a bit weird. Last one. When the final scene of the zombies walking across the Brooklyn Bridge was filmed, it was cold with drizzling rain that day, and the extras playing the zombies had to keep themselves from shivering. Also, the fake blood had some ammonia in it, and to stop it from changing colour when it dripped into the actors' mouths, they would spit it out when the cameras stopped rolling. All of the extras playing the zombies in New York scenes were locals that were paid $40 per day in two £20 banknotes, $20 banknotes, sorry, which had a single staple through them as not to overpay anyone. The director Lucio Fulci spoke very little English. His only direction for the New York zombie extras was like this. And there were 71-ish deaths, and that's including the shark if he died.
Okay.
70 if not.
And there's a couple more in there. There's a zombie. There is a couple more sequels to this one. Zombie
There
Flesh
is,
Eaters
yeah.
2 and 3, I think I remember. So yeah, interesting one. I'm glad we did this one. I've been meaning to do it for a while. I love getting into the zombie genre as much as I can. It's good. So Paul, how would you rate this one?
Um, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. You probably think that's a bit low, but I had a bit problem with the pacing, but yeah, it was decent enough though.
All
But
right.
yeah,
Matt, what do you think?
It does. It's a bit of a special film because I watched it when I was so young and stuff. So I'm probably a bit blinded by the nostalgia part of it. But I mean, it's not one of my favorite films that I would go and watch over and over again. However, that said, some of the scenes are absolutely memorable. It is a slow burn. The storyline's a bit wishy-washy, but because of the zombie makeup effects and the special effects, it's probably going to be, I'd say, probably an 8 for me.
Yeah, I think it fits into that 8 bracket for me as well, mainly on the nostalgia aspect. And like, I just love the uniqueness compared to the rest of the zombie genre and its place in it. So I do love my little DVD as well. It's lovely. Lovely copy I have. So yeah, it's fair. It's good. It's good. Right. Okay. It's Geordie Paul's back and he actually gets a pick. So what you got to pick for us? Oh fuck.
I am probably going to cause a bit of controversy with this one, guys, because I think that you guys are going to go, it's not really a horror film, even though I'm pretty sure you like it. So, but it's something I want to watch for it. I haven't seen it for a good while, and I kind of want to give it a go. So, I'm going to go 1997, and I'm going to watch Starship Troopers.
Okay. 1997.
1997, yeah, all that time ago.
I mean, I'll give it to you.
What?
Yeah, cool. I mean, I only just watched it probably about a year ago.
I,
Oh,
lo-
So,
I mean,
but-
it's
did you
it's
say
hard.
you've never watched it?
no, I have seen. I've just not
Oh.
watched it for ages. Yeah, yeah. I went to the cinema to see this,
I was about to go outrageous.
I mean,
but I just thought we'd have a bit of fun.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. I love a bit of fun, and I love this movie. So this has got a special place in my heart. This one.
Yeah, I went to cinema to watch this one.
So I know it's
Yeah.
not strictly horror, but it's got enough horror in it to.
It's fucking sci-fi enough. It's
Sci-fi horror, definitely.
end of the world gore. I mean, the fucking gore and okay, let's compare it to Manhunter. Does it have some horrific moments? Yes. So there we go.
Douchebag.
Lovely job. No, that's a good pick, man. That's been on my list to pick. So yeah, that's good. Clap, clap,
Cool.
clap, clap, clap. Round of applause. Okay, cool. Okay, that's episode 181 done. Thanks very much for continuing to listen. We've got some very exciting things coming up in the near future. Moving on to episode 182. Our main review will be Fear Street Prom Night, I think it's called, on Netflix. We'll be bringing our Something to Scream About back and talking about a couple more episodes of Black Mirror. And Paul has just pulled out of the bag a nice little sci-fi number, Starship Troopers. And there's only one more thing to say. When there's no more room in hell, here's another podcast.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
You can follow us on Twitter at DrawOneLast, Instagram at DrawOneLastBreath, or pop us an email at DrawOneLastBreathPod@hotmail.com.